Sebastian for the Metal Gods Meltdown. Today I am joined by
Marc Storace, known as the singer of Krokus for the past few decades, and now doing my solo thing, Storace, but still going strong with Krokus.
Yeah, it's amazing actually. Rock this city. I mean, where do you get the energy from? It's fantastic.
Well, the energy I get is from life itself and my passion for what I do. I started out at the age 14 down in Malta, where I come from, the little island in the Mediterranean, singing in cover bands. And from cover bands, I reached a point, left school and didn't want to spend my life working in a normal job, and no way you can do professional living out of singing down there unless you're in the tourist business, and that wasn't for me. So I took off and flew to London, and I didn't go to meet the Queen. I went to try and get myself into some rock band, but about 6 months later, I met this Swiss girl, and I ended up half a year later in Switzerland, and the rest is history.
But it is amazing to see you with Rock This City. It's a fantastic song and so much energy in that song.
Thank you.
How pleased are you then with feedback from people, from your fans and media so far? Because it's been phenomenal, hasn't it?
It's been really well received. I'm really happy about that. Um, it's a well done video to a great song, I feel,
Yeah.
and it's also a lot of thanks to Tommy Henriksen, my old friend, who produced the album for me, and
Mhm.
it's him and I. Well, we sat down, wrote the songs after going through so many ideas, and the whole thing, the new band that gives all their energy, as you can see on the video, with
Yeah.
the brand new guitar player. Serge Christian, he's a shredder,
Yeah.
which is needed for this album, as you will see when it's released on the 22nd of November.
Wow. Okay. So before that, then, is there going to be any more singles coming off the album, do you think?
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. In fact, our drummer Patrick Abbey is working on the next one right now, and this will be released very early next month, before my birthday.
Okay. And how old are you
my
going to
my
be again?
73rd birthday.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
73,
Amazing though.
73. That's it. It's nuts. Rock and roll.
Absolutely, man. Because that's my next question about rock and roll. Because you survived the '80s, which was the best time for rock music, in my opinion. What's one of
Yeah.
your What's one of your enduring memories of those times? One that like springs to mind right away.
Well, I remember the beginnings with Krokus when I first joined. We toured right up to Hamburg, doing pokey little clubs and spreading the name and so on. And then suddenly the first album, Metal Rendezvous, hit the charts like a rocket, and the manager's phone started ringing internationally. So we really had a rocket start, with and we ended up in the USA hardly a year later, and then played Reading Festival, which really put us on the map
Yeah,
here there in England
yeah,
and the rest of the world. So that was one big thing, and then one big highlight was the tour we did with Def Leppard. It was their Pyromania album, which is for me the best album.
totally.
Uh, and we were promoting Headhunter, which was a milestone in our career. I think we were at the peak of our uh, physical power, if you
Yeah.
like, and delivered uh, kind of. It was really the most metallic album we ever did, I think, and it earned us a really good place in the charts, U.S. Billboard charts. So we were really happy with that, and yeah, and so on and so forth. And then it became a little. The road became a little bumpier
Yeah.
after that, and then grunge came in and gave everyone a big hammer on the head,
Yeah.
and uh, and that, yeah, and then I left the band for a while, and so on and so forth. Yeah,
But you're still going strong, which is amazing. And there's still quite a lot of elder metal and hard rock musicians out there, like Phil Mogg.
yeah.
And
Well, there are, yeah.
yeah, it's amazing, really. What do you put this down to that there's so many elder like yourself, Dee Schneider as well, still going strong? What do
Yeah, yeah. And Phil Mogg,
yeah,
U-
yeah,
UFO. He was one of the first rock singers to impress me because we toured with UFO in my progressive rock band called T in Switzerland.
yeah,
They played here, and we played in France and Switzerland and so on. Yeah, I think the reason behind us old fogies still wanting to do it is because it's a passion. It starts off
yeah.
as a hobby. Well, for me, and it's a passion, and you do it with your full heart and soul, and it gives you that kick. You get
Mhm.
adrenaline rush and stuff, and I mean, you don't even need drugs. Just a sip of white wine will do for me, and that's just really great. After that, I kind of calm down. Otherwise, I'll get on my wife's nerves, if I'm at home the whole time.
Absolutely. All right. So going back to the new album, I mean, how pleasing is it for you to be signed to Frontiers Records? I mean, they're massive, aren't they?
Yeah, they're all over the place, all over the world, and they have so many acts, and it's amazing. And it's a big change from the first album. I mean, when I did the first album, due to COVID and due to Krokus packing up due to COVID,
Mm.
I didn't want to just waste away on a sofa watching TV. So I started working on my first solo album,
Yeah.
Live and Let Live,
Uh-huh.
and I financed it myself, and we were working in a lockdown mood, with masks and stuff like that. Did that with session musicians,
Yeah.
and it came out good. But this one is a new story,
Yeah.
freshly signed with Frontiers, and they're doing a hell of a good job, and I'm really happy that things worked out so well, especially having Tommy. You know, uh, it's amazing. What would I have done without Tommy? He was so fast. This guy is like a workaholic. He's got a massive archive of ideas. And
Uh-huh.
first time we met, I went to his place. He lives in Zurich when he's not touring, and
Right.
he's always touring.
Mhm.
So I was lucky that he had the time, in spite of his commitments with Alice Cooper
Yeah.
uh, and Johnny Depp, and his own Crossbones Cully. He's a busy man, Tommy Henriksen. So I was really happy that he made time. He come home to visit his family and work with me as well.
Mhm.
Well, and he was even mixing a film for the Hollywood vampires
Okay.
and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm really happy that things are going well, and the new video, which we really enjoyed doing,
Amazing.
as you as you can see, you
Yeah.
get the vibe comes across. I'm really happy, and there's more to come. We're working
Brilliant.
on new videos, as I talk.
That's great. That's great to know. For the first single to come from the album, though, you've got the Maltese cross. I noticed on the single. Yeah.
Ah, how come you've got the Maltese cross? Connections, or is it in your blood, family?
Partly in my family, but I went to Valletta. Sorry, you were born, Silema. I stayed.
I'm in Slima.
I,
I was born in Slima,
I stayed
across
there for
the
2 weeks.
bay from
Yeah.
Valletta.
I
Yeah.
stayed there for 2 weeks there, and I went to Valletta. It was fantastic. I loved it. So I got a tattoo because it was a big deal for me. It's the Maltese cross on the single. So
Cool.
how important is
Yeah,
it?
I really became Swiss. I speak the language, which
Yeah.
is a dialect of German, and my wife is Swiss. We've been married 35 years. My kids are half Swiss, half Maltese, and I
Mhm.
feel like a half Swiss, half Maltese now. So that's the reason for the cross fire,
Yeah.
the fire of the cross,
Brilliant.
which is a half and half Maltese cross. So that's the story behind that.
So through your career, I mean, you would have worked with many talented musicians, but is there one particular musician you wish you had the chance to work with?
Well, I can't say Jimi Hendrix,
Why not?
but well, I imagine. Wow. But he was far too high above my league. What would I don't know. Who would I sing with? I'd love to, would have loved to have a go with Jimmy Page. He's
Right.
one of my favorite guitar players. I like the sound, and I love Led Zeppelin still, and you know, um, or maybe even I even like Roger Glover a lot.
Okay.
Bass player of Deep Purple. He lives in Switzerland too.
Right.
So that drive, that driving bass is incredible. Yeah, and there's quite a few more. Obviously,
Oh,
Ian Pace is top
yeah.
drummer. I think really the way he hits it with such feel and swing,
Hmm.
and doesn't even have to hit hard.
Yeah.
Um, but I enjoy myself with the band I'm in.
Uh-huh.
With musicians I have. Uh, Emmy Meyer is really good on bass. She's a hell of a sight to see live.
Hmm.
Patrick is an all-round man. He not only plays great steady drums, but he does a lot of stuff in the background which you don't see. And yeah, Dominic is also Dominic Falve is a on the money rhythm guitar player, and also quite a showman. He's got his parts during the set, and yeah, and with with Serge Kristen, he's one of a kind, and he actually was the first guitar player, lead guitarist in my first version of the band, which was ages ago.
Right.
It was called Marc Storace band, and yeah, we had a few gigs, and one gig with Johnny Holiday, about 18,000 people, and then it
Wow.
started raining, quite adventurous.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, so we pack quite a punch,
You do.
right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of energy coming over, and well, really a bunch of mad men,
Brilliant.
actually, and woman. But it's fun. It's fun.
Would it be like a new material from Krokus?
Well, that's something I ask myself a lot, and I've suggested a few times, but it's not just in my hands to create a new album, a new Krokus album. If Chris and Fernando agree, then we'll get the ball rolling, and I'm sure it would be a fun thing to do, I think, at our age.
Absolutely. Okay, so then is there like a particular Krokus song that means more to you than any other?
Well, Long Stick Goes Boom is for me eternal. It's eternal. It's the best opener ever written. I think it starts so bombastic, it just blows everything away,
Yeah.
and the pace, the rhythm of it, it's so majestic, so big,
Mhm.
and ballad wise, I like Screaming in the Night still.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
It's a great story.
Yeah.
The feeling, the way the interpretation, and that song is always changing, from
Mm.
beginning to end.
Yeah.
There's not many repetitions, especially not in the vocals. Okay, when you have a chorus, it's a chorus, but the rest, there's always something new happening. So
Hmm.
so it's like you never get bored of it. There are
Yeah.
other songs which you might get bored of playing, but once you're on stage anyway, and the adrenaline hits you, there's no boredom. It just doesn't exist, of course. Uh, but but when you're planning a new set list, think, oh, not that one again. Maybe you played it thousands of
Yeah.
times. But when you start, when the song starts, then you're in
Mm.
there. Full gas, forward.
Absolutely. So looking back then, like from your youth, it would it be hard to have believed that when you were 14 years old or when you got into music, leaving Malta and coming to Switzerland, that you'd still be doing it all these years later? How many decades is it now?
I I still don't believe it. That's, I mean, even on tour in the USA on the tour bus, partying with the guys. I mean, we used to party hard, and we lived to see this day. Back then, you didn't think of the future. You didn't think that far. Just thought maybe put some money on the bank for older days, and when success waves down or something, a
Yeah.
bit of security. But otherwise, you don't think as far as 50 even.
It's mad, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
absolutely.
but I thank my lucky stars, and and I'm happy I didn't go into the drug scene or
Mm.
stuff like that, and kept respect for my own vocal cords, for my own sanity, for my own harmony with the rest of the world, and I think that's very important. And what I do is still my hobby, you know,
Hmm.
basically, and so I feel so privileged to be having been able to live from my hobby, loving what I do. I
Mm.
think not everybody has that good luck.
No,
I wish everyone did. We'll be such a better world, you
definitely.
know.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, talking of the world, it has changed beyond recognition from even the 80s. Music and festivals have changed. Everything's changed. Are you glad you started out in the music industry when you did and was so successful in the 80s?
Oh yeah. The 80s were the golden years, the respect was here, and I think the whole thing with starting with the media to the way record companies um, functioned, the budgets they had, tour support and this and that and the other. They'd send a taxi, they'd send you a car to pick you up and take you somewhere. So in London, I was like, dee-dong, okay, gotta go. Yeah. That kind of thing is just doesn't exist anymore. It's
Mm.
all do it yourself, and and people working on computers in little rooms and creating stuff because there's no budget,
No.
so you have to do it yourself. It's like you can't sit there and let people cook for you. You get out, go do the shopping and cook yourself.
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah, but no, though the 80s were really the golden years, and I don't know if they're gonna come back now. It's all digital,
Yeah.
and for me, still kind of too new.
Mm.
I'll never get used to not putting on a vinyl
Yeah.
around on the turntable and putting the pin on and
Mm.
listen to the crackle and
Yeah.
that was so real and
Of course.
it sounded better.
Absolutely. Still does.
Nothing beats the sound of vinyl. It's so
No.
deep and warm and amazing. And I used to look at those black records and think, how the hell does it all that come out of this this piece of plastic?
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So say there was like a made up song about yourself as a person, what would it be called?
A song about myself.
Yeah, made up.
I would say happy go lucky and never give up.
Brilliant.
And take life as it comes and stay flexible, honey. I mean, if I was like writing a text,
Yeah.
my wife,
Yeah.
and that's, I think, the flexible man.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I've done a lot of projects. I sang with loads of bands and did loads of albums, and
Yeah.
it's basically been rock. I'm a rock singer basically, but I've also gone a little bit towards pop, and I've done underground progressive music in the past. Where a song is as long as 3 songs today. It's never ending arrangements and stuff. So I'm quite flexible if something goes wrong. Okay, I freak out in the beginning, but then it's just okay, deal with.
Brilliant. That's amazing. Well, I want to thank you so much for your time. I think the new single's fantastic, and I can't wait for the album to come out. Do you have any final words for your fans, our viewers, and listeners?
Yeah, I mean, what can I say? If you don't know me in Krokus, I would suggest you start listening to Krokus and then go on to my solo stuff with Storace. There's 2 albums, here they are: Live and Let Live and Crossfire, coming out on the 22nd November. And just let it rock. It's all about rock. And if you haven't looked at the video yet, then enjoy it. And I suggest you enjoy and then share and give us a helping hand to get everything out there.